Hello, good morning. Sober sunrise, June 30th, 2025. The time is 7:07 a.m. I already like what I'm seeing just based on this title here. I haven't read it yet. Let's do it. It's Monday. Start a great week. It's a short week, 4th of July on Friday. Let's get some recovery. Sacrifice equals unity equals survival. June 30th, the unity, the effectiveness, and even the survival of AA will always depend upon our continued willingness to give up some of our personal ambitions and desires for the common safety and welfare. Just as sacrifice means survival for the individual alcoholic, so does sacrifice mean unity and survival for the group and for AA's entire fellowship. From As Bill Sees It, page 220. I have learned that I must sacrifice some of my personality traits for the good of AA, and as a result, I have been rewarded with many gifts. False pride can be inflated through prestige, but by living Tradition 6, I receive the gift of humility instead. Cooperation without affiliation is often deceiving. If I remain unrelated to outside interests, I am free to keep AA autonomous. Then the fellowship will be here, healthy and strong for generations to come. All right, so again, a little bit of a traditions reading here. I wish I had my book, but it's downstairs. Oh no, it's right here. It's just covered up. I was doing some writing yesterday because my sponsor asked me to do some writing. And so my book is here. I'm just going to read Tradition 6. The short form, not the long form. Tradition 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, going back to yesterday, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. So that's the tradition, the short form. And there's a quick blurb about it. It says, experience proved that we could not endorse any related enterprise no matter how good. We could not be all things to all men. We saw that we could not lend the AA name to any outside activity. Brilliant at the time. I mean, just brilliant, foresight to understand that AA has to remain autonomous. Otherwise, special interests start to get creeping in. Let's take a look at our government. Okay. The unity, effectiveness, and even the survival of AA will always depend on our continued willingness to give up some of our personal ambitions and desires for the common safety and welfare. Sorry, my throat's very dry today. Trying to relate this to an individual perspective. The survival of AA always depends on my continued willingness to give up some of my personal ambitions and desires for the common safety and welfare. So when I'm trying to make it about me, like if I'm reading something that I'm trying to understand on a personal perspective, I just change some of the words around and make it about me. So if I give up some of my personal ambitions for the common safety and welfare of AA, that means that I'm not going into AA meetings promoting any of my personal businesses, my personal, interests. I'm just there for the unity and the mission of AA. Okay, I leave my ego behind. I leave my personal ambitions behind, and I'm just there for the group of people that are in the room that day. And that's how it keeps going. Okay, when you're outside the meeting and you're talking to people, then that's different. If they have interest in something you got going on, okay, as long as your intentions are pure, then go ahead and share that with whomever you feel like it. But during the meeting, inside the walls of the AA room, keep that stuff out. It's got no place there. It's just about recovery in there. It's just about supporting each other spiritually. And yeah, that's um, that's the crux of it, really. Just as sacrifice means survival for the individual alcoholic, yep, sacrifice. What are we sacrificing for our survival? Sacrificing our comfort at first. That's the first thing. Got to get uncomfortable at the beginning. So we're sacrificing our comfort to get better. Um, Sacrifice means survival for the individual alcoholic. So does sacrifice mean unity and survival for the group and AA's entire fellowship. Yeah, so sacrificing my individual ambitions when I walk in the room is for the common welfare of AA's entire fellowship. Um, and the same goes for the group's ambitions. If a group wanted to branch off and do their own thing, they could, but they wouldn't be a member. They wouldn't be an AA group anymore. They'd have to come out. They'd have to stop branding as AA. They'd have to, if they wanted to like start bringing in special interests to sponsor the meeting, like all that kind of stuff would be okay as long as you don't call yourself AA anymore. And because as soon as special interests start to creep in, that's a slippery slope, and it usually doesn't end well if you look at it long term. I've learned that I must sacrifice some of my personality traits for the good of AA. Yeah, so my personality, I don't know. I guess I like to say I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I'm always trying to think of like angles and ways to maybe come up with ideas for businesses and things like that. And of course, like my brain has gone there. I've been sitting in AA meetings when I should have been listening to shares, and I've been thinking of ways that I could capitalize. And I'm not the first person I know who's done that. Because, I mean, think about it. People come there out of their own free will, and it's like a captive audience, right? So if you let your mind go there, you can figure out ways to be like, oh, I could make money doing this. I could make money doing that. And that is not okay. So, like my personality trait, I have to sacrifice that when I walk in the rooms of AA and just be like, no, I'm just here for the fellowship and the survival of the group and trying to help someone get through today. So when I do this reader says, when I sacrifice my personality traits, I've been rewarded with many gifts. Yeah, I agree with that. Gifts come in many shapes and sizes. So it could be just hearing the right message that day because I shut myself up inside and I said, shut up and listen, bro. And then I hear what I need to hear to get through that day or to get through that week. That's a gift. And if I'm sitting there brainstorming ideas on how to monetize this meeting, I'm not listening to the share and I'm not hearing what I need to hear. False pride can be inflated through prestige. Yeah. But by living tradition 6, I receive the gift of humility instead. Yeah. Yeah. False pride can be inflated through prestige. Heck yeah. I mean, I've never even had that much prestige in my life. And I still have that false pride, that like American dream hope of like one day I'll be whatever. That false pride and that narrative that I tell myself that's like one day I'll have all this clout and all this prestige, right? And what am I going to do with it then? It's like, just be quiet and listen to the meeting, dude. You're an alcoholic. You need some help to get through today. Like, stop future tripping. Just be in the moment. Just be in the moment. That was real hard for me at first, just to be in the moment. And I'm still not a perfect practitioner of that, but I'm getting better. Meditation has helped and stuff like that. Exercise sometimes helps, and just staying in the moment is so critical, because future tripping is something we do where it's like catastrophizing, like we were talking about with Chris, catastrophizing situations or the opposite, self-aggrandizing and being like, I can't wait till I have all this. Wait till I get my money, right, Kanye? All that kind of stuff. Just it's not that helpful. Stay in the moment. Be where you are. Sit down in that chair and sit all the way down and listen. Stop trying to get way ahead of yourself. Going back to yesterday, getting ahead of my skis. That's how I fall flat on my face, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I got to stay balanced. Cooperation without affiliation is often deceiving. If I remain unrelated to outside interests, I am free to keep AA autonomous. Yeah. I mean, I can be related to outside interests, but I got to keep that out of the room. I can't bring that in the room. Can't. First of all, they won't let it happen. Someone sees you trying to be that guy, that girl, that person. They're going to say, hey, tradition 6, homie. You got to keep that out of here. Because this isn't the spot for that. This isn't the spot for you to pitch your business idea during your share when you're supposed to be talking about recovery, experience, strength, and hope. Nobody wants to hear your business pitch. So keep that outside. The brilliance of AA, I think, they had offers at the beginning for sponsorships and stuff like that to grow the meeting when they were trying to grow the meeting and start new meetings and branch out into new cities and states. They had offers from outside interests to help them monetize and spread the meeting. But then they were giving away their autonomy. And they had the foresight to say, this is not a good idea. And again, historians, check me on this if you're out there. Maybe you can teach me something. I've heard some about this, but I'm no expert. But they had the foresight to say, no, we can't go that route. We got to grow this grassroots. If it takes longer, it takes longer. But they believed in it, and they knew that it would catch. And boy, were they right. And the brilliance to have that foresight is just, I'm grateful for them for that. If I remain unrelated to outside interests, I'm free to keep AA autonomous. Then the fellowship will be here, healthy and strong for generations to come. Yep. And that's why it's still here, because the special interests never got their clutches around the brilliance of this whole thing, and they never were able to corrupt it. Citizens United. So, tradition 6, keep the money out of, keep the special interests out of the room, keep the politics out of the room, as I sit here and talk about politics. See, I'm I'm not perfect. I'm trying though. And, yeah, I think that's another basically simple one for today. So I guess I'll continue the trend of keeping these short, and we'll have some that come up that do require longer to talk about them, because this is the last day of June. I'm sure this is why the 6th tradition is being focused on the last couple days. 6th month, 6th tradition. So I bet at the end of July, we'll probably see some of the 7th tradition coming out and some of the daily reflections as well, or maybe the beginning of the month. We'll see tomorrow. So that's all I got for today. I'm going to get to waking up my son and getting this Monday started. So again, thanks for coming and listening to me and watching the video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you like the channel, subscribe. If you think someone out there that can be helped by listening to some of these, please share the channel with them and say, hey, just listen to these, put it on in the background of your life. While you're doing other things, that's fine, or sit all the way down and listen to every word. Either way, the message will get through eventually, and you might help someone by sharing the channel or the video. You might help save someone's life. So, okay, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, you are enough and you are loved and you can do this. You can get past this disease. You can learn to live a happy, joyous, peaceful life. There is a solution. And if you have questions, reach out in the comments and we'll help you find a way. And that's it. Okay. See if I can click on the right button this time. Okay. Love you all. Have a great Monday or whatever day it is you're listening to this. And we'll see you again on the next video. Bye.